thinks that they're just trying to get airplanes out of there, which would make sense. Iranian airspace is closed. I think leaving only not really fun there, but maybe they just want to get them out of there while they can. That one. That just take off too. That one just took off too. Oops, sorry. Max Power thinks Iran will respond, but not immediately. To repeat, Israeli military tells media that it has conducted 5 waves of strikes and launched hundreds of strikes. Oh, a half an hour ago, the New York Times reported that Iranian officials said a third wave of attacks had started targeting radars and air defense across Iran. Thank you, Ebola, Marvin Elder, Corn Pop 82, Nathan Griffin, Dez. Dez says, is the Iranian state media usually this transparent with information? It's a good question. I mean, usually when there's explosions, they report it. It's interesting to see them reporting, like, hearing explosions in different places. But in the past, now they might, in the past, sometimes they'll report an explosion and then they'll say, oh, it was nothing or whatever. So, they haven't really talked about the damage at the facilities, but yeah, they certainly have been coming out and reporting explosions in different places. They've been confirming the deaths of, they have been confirming the deaths of certain people. So it's interesting to see. But I also saw a report claiming, well, I think this was coming from the military, though, claiming that they were like fighting Israel in the skies. I don't know if that's really happening. And look, the Supreme Leader did admit in his statement that nuclear scientists and military officials had been killed. So they're not trying to deny it.
Someone's got to go look on Brett Barrett's show real quick. Like,
it's like so unbelievable. I almost can refuse to believe it. I just need to know if that was actually said or not.
I just don't know, man. Like, honestly, part of me says that this is so absurd and stupid. There's a much stronger word I want to use for that, but this is so absurd and stupid. There's no way in hell that he actually said that. But at the same time, there's a small part of me that says he probably did, and I don't really know which one to believe right now. Because if this was actually what we said,
targets in the region, because I have to believe, John, if that occurs, the Iranian regime itself will come under pressure. And I go back to a point I made earlier. Preservation of that regime remains the highest goal of Iranian statecraft.
And just holding on that point for a second, it remains the highest goal. So does that mean they're limited really in how far they're really going to go because they don't want to get a massive attack that might bring that into question?
Within their own worldview, the Iranians are realists. They know the limits of their capabilities. They've been badly exposed by the attacks of their offensive forces on Israel. Their own defensive forces have been severely tried by Israeli attacks.
It's probably 10 minutes, and then I'm going to play the movie. It's an old movie called Occult Forces, and then the director who directed it was killed or something during World War II for making it. It was just some filler stuff. The regular documentary that I was going to play, I'll probably do that tomorrow, just because I kind of was listening to the background and eating just like that. So I'm going to this and then we'll get it going.
And the Iranians, or what the terms were they were at least negotiating over.
So about 2 weeks ago, Steve Witkoff, President Trump's envoy, his friend, the real estate developer who has been the person he's put at the tip of the spear with all really highly sensitive diplomacy, transmitted a proposal via Oman, that small Gulf emirate that tries to communicate with both the West and with Iran, whose regime is really diplomatically isolated. And in that proposal, the United States floated a number of different ideas, permutations of what a potential negotiated agreement with the United States could look like. But what was clear within those option sets was that the United States does not want Iran to be able to enrich uranium, nuclear fuel, on its own territory, even if it were just at low levels of enrichment for what Iran was claiming always was a civilian nuclear program. The United States was offering, okay, we'll let you have a nuclear program that is peaceful and for power purposes, a civilian one, but you'd have to go buy that enriched fuel outside of your own borders. We don't want you to have that option. That's where Iran was really insistent that they had the right to this. The U.S. offered and actually reached out, as President Trump did in his conversation with Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, to see if other states that have close relationships with Iran, as Russia does, would help with that. Russia even possibly taking some of that enriched nuclear fuel we talked about that was enriched up to that 60% level. 90% is weapons grade, so you can see how close that was and why it was making U.S. officials and other officials around the world nervous, and said you could ship that to Russia. By the way, that's what President Obama did in that 2015 diplomatic deal. So there are some ideas in this proposal that look very similar to that same diplomatic accord that President Trump exited back in 2018. Remember, until 2018, Iran had agreed to limit its program. It was only after the U.S. pulled out that they began this enrichment cycle again, and that has what has triggered this renewed concern. Their behavior in the region in terms of funding militias always continued. Their development of missiles also of concern to the United States. But the restrictions on its nuclear program are really of the utmost concern to President Trump.
Margaret Brennan, Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent for CBS and the anchor of Face the Nation. We have an Israeli, what Israel is saying. We have reporting out of Israel that, and this is that the Iranian regime is advancing a secret program to build a nuclear weapon. This is according to an Israeli military official. Iran has enough material to make 15 nuclear bombs within days. And this, again, is according to an Israeli military official. So that is the latest. Again, Israel has just launched airstrikes into Iran. The Israeli defense minister saying in a statement that they are, quote, preemptive strikes. Our coverage will continue on CBS News 24/7, your local news, and for some of you tonight on the CBS Evening News. This has been a CBS News special report. I'm John Dickerson in New York.
What happens when reporters take you inside the story?
I've been asking for over a year and a half for access into this place, and this is the first time we're getting it.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
This is NCIS. You put on that uniform, you agree to protect the person next to you, no matter what. Welcome to Australia.
Match made in heaven.
Subtitled The Mysteries of Freemasonry Unveiled for the First Time on Screen, is a French film produced in 1943 during occupied France by an ex-Freemason who, after the war, was executed for making this film. It tells the story of a young member of the French Parliament who joins a Freemason lodge at the urging of colleagues. Although made with German encouragement and support, it nonetheless reflected broad French sentiment. After France's liberation,
guys, how's it going?
the
What's up,
film's
dudes?
director, producer,
I started
and
a little bit
screenplay
early
writer
tonight.
were severely
Second.
punished and imprisoned for their role.
So I started a little bit. Let's see. Here we go. I started a little bit early just because we were watching the chaos unfolding. But I had something scheduled for tonight, but I'm going to play that tomorrow. Tonight we're going to watch an old dub. It's only about an hour long. I think you guys will get a kick out of this. It's called Occult Forces. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. And, I'll just chime in from here to there. This is kind of interesting. I thought it would be something you guys would enjoy. So.
Freemasonry Unveiled for the First Time on Screen is a French film produced in 1943 during occupied France by an ex-Freemason who, after the war, was executed for making this film. It tells the story of a young member of the French Parliament who joins a Freemason lodge at the urging of colleagues. Although made with German encouragement and support, it nonetheless reflected broad French sentiment. After France's liberation, the film's director, producer, and screenplay writer were severely punished and imprisoned for their role in this production. Director Jean Manny, a former Freemason, was sentenced to death and executed. It's a little bit under an hour, so I'm going to play it for you now with subtitles. Enjoy. Occult Forces. Soviet sphere of influence, French sphere of influence, American sphere of influence. Masonic spheres of influence. The movie starts in the Chamber of Deputies. From left to right, this parliament represents only corruption. You capitalists, you ceaselessly push the workforce to misery. And you communists, you never stop exploiting the misery that the capitalists want. Sirs, silence, please. All of you parliamentarians out of touch and on the perimeter. Don't insult parliamentarianism. Silence. Sirs, I will stop the meeting. Continue, Mr. Avenel. Sirs, I have no more to say. I have told you some truths, perhaps unpleasant, but still true. These interruptions won't stop me. The French community won't fight the conflicts between the selfish old bourgeoisie and the starving people. That's why we'll not vote for this project, which panders to the international capitalists and would be a good pretext for the communists to accentuate our differences. I will not vote for it. No doubt I will be the only one who doesn't vote in favor, as it seems that by a strange aberration, the whole chamber is prepared as always to betray the interests of France for the benefit of certain very particular international interests.
It's so interesting to see how they knew what was going on 100 years ago, but we seem to forgot.
Bravo, Avenel. You must leave, ladies. Please leave. But I'm the wife of the deputy, who just spoke. Manifestations are forbidden, madam. Please leave. He's brave, this Avenel. These nationals who are too Puritan, we're wasting our time with them. We need to educate them a little. What lodge is he from? He isn't one of us, Brother Dubois. That explains everything. Here's an intelligent young man who needs a method and advice. Present him to us. He is sensitive. We need to proceed with caution. Send him to Le Revers. He should be able to persuade him. I'm on my way. My worshipful sir, we have a favor to ask of you. Brother Didon, I am at your service. Young Avenel, who just spoke so brilliantly, should be initiated. Masonry would benefit him a great deal and discipline him. Don't you think? I was thinking that. We'll take care of it without delay. So, I'm exhausted. What did you think of my speech? Excellent. You told them the plain truth. That won't help. They already voted on the project. It never helps to tell the truth. People don't like the truth. They much prefer lies. You're a cynic. No, I have some political experience. Some time ago, would you come with me for a while? I have something to say to you, gladly. Look, I wanted to ask, if you remember our conversation about Freemasonry, you told me the other day that you were curious to know about the association. Yes, one hears sometimes good things, sometimes bad things. I don't like secret societies very much. Freemasonry is not a secret society. It's a discreet society. Why does it disturb you so much to see me become a Freemason? I'm suspicious of this association. It's full of social climbers. Okay, but it may have good people in it, motivated by sincere ideals. The text they gave me is full of good ideas. You think it's just a facade, an outward display? But it seems fair to me. You're an honest man, my love, but you have one great fault. What is that then? You never see the bad in things. You imagine other people are good, like you. That's why you're always disappointed. Well, I have decided to try the experience. Do it then. I hope I'm wrong. When do you have to be presented to these people? Wednesday. So soon? Brothers, business will continue in these areas. The committee has voted on the interrogation of the candidate Avenel. Let's read our interrogator's confidential reports. Pierre Avenel, born in 1902 at Laval, took his first communion. Brother Maudrier, please, but claims he doesn't practice regularly. He's even stopped going to church. Very well, but claims to be spiritual. Please follow me, sir. Allow me to cover your eyes. Brothers, the candidate Avenel, who has been recommended to us by Brother Gainsbourg, Vice President of the Chamber, is a deputy. But that doesn't impress us. We will especially examine what he can contribute to Freemasonry. We need people who will serve our order and contribute to its power. At the moment, he appears to adhere to national ideas, which are a little too absolute. I want to warn you of one thing. It's in our interest to have many parliamentarians in hand. It may be better not to ask him any questions, which will shock him. Be aware that he is sensitive about questions of spirituality or religion. When he has worked among us for a while, he will have evolved. Absolute silence, my brothers. Who knocks at the temple door in the proper manner? A candidate who has asked to be interrogated. Worshipful master, bring in the candidate.
Hey, how's it going, Claire? Hope you're doing all right tonight. It's been a pretty crazy night. We're watching a old-timey film called Occult Forces.
Sir, you have declared that you want to become a Freemason, but we need to know who you are. Therefore, we will interrogate you on your intentions, your beliefs, your political ideas. Reply without becoming disconcerted, but tell us the absolute truth. Do you consent to this interrogation? I consent. Sir, do you believe in God? And why? You seem disappointed by your first encounter with Freemasonry. The interrogation was a little embarrassing. I must have seemed ridiculous.
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting old
you're
movie.
Mistaken. Others before you
we were watching
didn't
the news
reply
for a
as
little
well.
while.
You got a good majority. 16 votes to 10. What? I had 10 votes against me? No, only 2. But votes in opposition count for 5. 1 more against you and you would have been blackballed. Masonry is particular in its choice of candidates. Not enough, my friend, not enough. I must warn you that you will be disappointed once you are in the lodge. The average Masons are terribly mediocre. You'll see that you give more than you receive. But these rites that you told me of, these mysterious initiations, stupidity. There are those who attach a certain symbolic value to them. The majority of the Masons themselves laugh at these old practices. But on the day of your ceremony, you'll find the tests are not pleasant. Letter of invitation. Members give the secret words. Wait here at the refreshment stall. We will come and get you. So, well, it's understood, my friend. I'll take care of your case. You can count on me. But it's very important, of course. Excuse me, the meeting has started. I'm a little late. Take your places, my brothers, and we will begin our business. My brother Durand, please take your place at the organ. Brother Senior Warden, are you a Freemason? My brothers recognize me as such, worshipful master. Brother Junior Warden, how long have you been a Mason? 3 years. Brother Senior Warden, what is the first duty of a guard at the lodge? It is to ensure that the temple is tiled. Do you want to ensure it is tiled, brother? The temple is tiled, worshipful master. Brother Junior Warden, what is the second duty of the guards of the lodge? To assure that all the brothers present are regular members of the lodge or known visitors. Stand to order, my brothers. Brothers Senior and Junior Warden, ensure that all the brothers lined up in front of your columns are regular members or known visitors to the lodge. Worshipful Master, the brothers who decorate the columns are all regular members of the lodge or known visitors. It's the same in the Orient. Brother Senior Warden, what time do Freemasons start their business? At midday, Worshipful Master. What time is it? It is midday, Worshipful Master. As it is time for business, brothers Senior and Junior Warden, invite the brothers to join us in opening the business of the Enfants des Universe, of the Free Orient at the grade of novice, in the customary manner. From me, my brothers, the sign, the triple clap, and the proclamation. Liberty, equality, fraternity. Take your places, my brothers. Business has been opened. Brothers, the order of the day is the initiation of the candidate Avenel. The lodge previously voted to take on the case of the aforementioned candidate. Therefore, this evening, you will solemnly receive him. My brother Tyler, please bring in the candidate Avenel, who is writing his philosophical testament in the office of reflection. Only through wisdom can we lead men. Not very jolly, this stuff. Sir, please follow me. Who knocks at the temple door in the proper manner? Worshipful Master, it is a candidate who asks to be received as a Mason, if he is judged to be fit. My brothers, arm yourselves with your swords. Let the candidate enter. Bow down, sir.
I bet they're rocking it at the Gmail fan club. All those Gmail
Sir,
aprons.
This sword that you feel at your chest is always ready to punish perjury. It is the symbol of remorse that will pierce your heart if you betray the society that you are entering into. Are you willing, of your own free will, to enter among us? Yes. It is an institution that proceeds according to its own rules. It takes its strength from reason. Do you still persist in your intentions? Are you determined to submit yourself to the tests, whatever they may be? I am. In that case, entrust yourself to the hand that will lead you, as it would be imprudent to impose obligations on you, which you do not fully understand. It is wise of this respectful assembly to tell you what your duties will be, if they admit you into its heart. The first is a duty of absolute secrecy, especially in what you will hear and discover among us, as well as everything that you will see and learn presently. I will demand an oath from you that you will prepare at the libation cup. Do you agree to take it? Yes. Brother expert, let the candidate approach, and you, master of ceremonies, take him to the libation cup. Present the cup to the candidate. Speak the oath with me. I swear on my honor to reveal nothing of the nature of the test that you will submit me to. I swear. You must know the importance of the oath. if ever you go back on your word, so solemnly given. Drink. Drink. This bitter drink should be a symbol for you of the bitterness and remorse which will remain in your heart, perjury which will burn your lips. Brother expert, take the candidate on his first voyage. Who goes there? A candidate who has asked to be received as a Mason. How does he dare to hope for this? Because he is free and of sound morals. If that is so, let him pass. Sir, the symbolic voyage that you make is an emblem of human life. The noise that you heard represents the passions which influence it. The obstacles that you met with show the difficulties that man faces, and that he cannot vanquish or surmount them without the help of his fellow men. Brother expert, take the second voyage. Who goes there? A candidate who is asked to be received as a Mason. How does he dare to hope for this? Because he is free and of sound morals. If that is so, let him pass and be purified by the water. We have proceeded to the test by water, which represents your spirit being reborn into Masonic life. Your heart must be clear like pure water. Brother expert, take the third voyage. Who goes there? A candidate who has asked to be received as a Mason. How does he dare to hope for this? Because he is free and of sound morals. If that is so, he will pass through the flames. The flames that surround you have completed your tests. The Masonic order into which you have asked to be admitted may perhaps one day demand that you fight until the last drop of blood to defend it and your brothers. I now prepare the Masonic oath for you. Brother expert, lead the candidate to the altar. Brothers, be standing. To order, swords in hand. I, Pierre Avenel, of my own free will, in the presence of this respectable assembly of Masons, solemnly swear and promise never to reveal any of the mysteries of Freemasonry which have been confided to me. It was odd that my husband wanted to become a Freemason. I tried to dissuade him as much as I could, but you know how stubborn he is. He'll find himself surrounded by mediocre social climbers. We warned him as best we could. I hope nothing happens to him. There are so many stories about these secret societies. Don't worry, Claire. He'll avoid any bad situations. He's careful. Not careful enough. Sir, the oath that you have just taken doesn't trouble you? Do you consent to renew it when you receive the light? I will renew it. My brothers, we will give the light to the candidate. Brother Tyler, Prepare to carry out your office. Give him the light. On the third tap of the hammer. Neophyte. These swords that you see pointing at you signify that all Freemasons will come to your aid if you respect and observe our laws. But they also say that if you betray your oath, you will not escape the vengeance of the brothers, spread out across the world, and who have sworn to punish perjury. Do you swear it, my brothers? We swear it. My brothers, to the health of our new brother, to your health. My dear brother, what did you think of this evening? Very odd, but the ceremony is very impressive. My dear brother, may I leave you my card in case you need my services? I sell everything from hats to socks to soap at unbelievable prices. Allow me, my dear Livy Stein. Of course, go ahead. Brother Avenel, we will soon ask you to make your contribution. Yes, one of our friends in our lodge wants a tobacconist. The Grand Orient is flooded with business right now. With your help, things may move a little faster. At your service. Many thanks. Later, I'll discuss some other business with you. For several years, I felt a legion of honor would be in order. I didn't pursue it. I didn't disturb your friends for that. We already asked them for enough. Would you help me? I'm at your service. Thank you very much. Until next time. No, not like that. A few little taps with the thumb. Like that. Try it. There you go. With this signal, all doors are open to you. So, happy? You seem troubled. Well, no. Disappointed already? Not yet. Tell me about the session. I swore I wouldn't say anything. Even to me? Listen, it was ridiculous. It was strange. My love, it's silly, but I'm scared for you. What do you think will happen to me? On my love. Avenel found himself in a terrible spiral of compromise and Masonic favors, from which he terribly tried to escape. My dear brother Avenel, I've got a service to ask of you. Read all about it, the Ostrich affair. My dear brother, if you could obtain this position for me, I would be very happy. My friend, maybe a phone call to the prefect to annul this fine of mine. Demand freedom, the Pathanathan scandal. My dear brother Avenel, I need a character witness in a trial. One of our brothers is appearing in the magistrate's court. He may be a little guilty, but with a little pressure, and to show our Masonic solidarity, I'm sure.
That's exactly how it works too. This is like literally a perfect representation of how this whole system works. You get in, and at first it's all fun and games, and then the favors start, and then it's a back scratch here, and if you help me, I help you, and I helped you, now you help me, and that's how this whole system works, and that's what they're really telling you here. And yeah, there's nothing like this. You don't see anything like this in the main anywhere. I mean, this is the only thing I've ever seen that really explains it the way it needs to be explained. There's no evil. It's like they're not doing sacrifices, but it's like, yeah, now you're just tangled up in the web, and that's just what it's about. That's what this whole system is. It's a bunch of guys who hang out, who think they're special because of their little ceremonies, and then they help each other. I helped you, now you help me. The whole world runs on back scratches.
Sure, you could clear it all up. The arrest of banker Charles Levy. Co-op bank goes bust. New financial scandal. You have to exclude him. He's a rogue. Of course he's a rogue, but as long as no one knows, we can keep him here amongst us. No! I understand your reaction, my dear Avenel. Let me give you an example. I knew one brother for 20 years, who I considered to be a crook, but I never said anything, because he was an excellent Mason. I don't share your opinion. Serge Alexandrovich Stravsky, that in unclear circumstances became a president of Acting for Government Land and Public Works Society. Next, he took huge loans, secured by false jewelry,
That's exactly what
and
happens.
embezzled the money. Officially, he committed suicide. What was on hand to the government? Don't vote for him. Why? He's an enemy to Freemasonry. But his plan is excellent. It doesn't matter. He is deserting us. You don't seem to agree. No, no, and no. I will not do what you want. I ask you to conform to the Republican ethos. The Republican ethos is Masonic. I know what this ethos is. It's a sham. Brother, think before you speak. Oh, don't think that I'm angry. On the contrary, I'm very calm, and that is why I won't vote on this unjust law. You are destroying this country by poisoning it slowly. Avenel, you can't be serious. Don't you understand anything? As a direct consequence of Stravinsky affair, huge demonstrations of the monarchist and nationalist opposition took place in Paris against left government cartel, completed by bloody riots and fighting with police. The main objective of the demonstrators was Bourbon Palace, where the Chamber of Deputies was placed. Demonstrators shout, "Down with the thieves!" and tried to cross the police cordons protecting the building. What's happening? Look, calm down, my friend, it's nothing. What do you think we should do? Nothing at all. In similar cases, we have had to wait. And trust me, it's no major incident. Everyone will go home to bed when they have tired themselves out with shouting. What do you think, Avenel? I'd like to be with them at the Place de la Concorde. You can't be serious. I'm not laughing. They are shooting. They are shooting on the crowd. It must be stopped. They are crazy. It must be stopped. About 1930, on a Concorde Bridge, police opened fire to a crowd. A moment later, Parliament secured commander reported a prime minister that 7 men had been shot and several dozens were hurt. What shall we do? It's too late. They are shooting again. Gunshots. Blood runs in the streets of Paris. French people die so that Freemasonry can live. Sirs, we have decided the list of members for the inquest. Everyone agrees that we should put it to the vote in the chamber. No objections? The project has been accepted unanimously. The meeting is adjourned. Do you think it's going to work? I can't see any opposition. If that's so, we're likely to get away with it. I sincerely believe that. Our brother deputies are waiting for us in the next room. They are impatient to hear you. Let's go. Avenel, my dear friend, I've put you on the inquest committee. Me? Why? You're indispensable. I need you. Come with us. Our friends are waiting. My brothers, now we are together. I can tell you confidentially that we can get through these serious events without too much harm. The Commission has just accepted the list that you proposed for the inquest. Many of our adversaries are involved, but the Freemasons are still in the majority. Rest assured, then, that neither the Republic nor Masonry are lost. They have come through a serious crisis, and they will emerge stronger from this test. Thank you. Inquest scandal. 35 Masons out of 50 members. Please get me the phone numbers of the Quai des Orsay, it means Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Banque de France, Staff Headquarters, the General Secretary of the Radical Socialist Party, Le Temps, and the Guerlain Aviation Factories. Very well, sir. Hello, the Minister's Principal Private Secretary. Hello, yes, let me speak to him. Speaking? I'll see to it, my dear friend. I can't tell you anything over the phone. You understand? Perfectly. Alert all your friends abroad. But under no circumstances mention us. Silence. Understood? Hello, General Mazzina speaking. At your service, my dear Lavier. I'm counting on you, my dear General, to ensure the army don't change politically. It should remain divided above all. Don't worry, I've already made important changes. All of the officers suspected of being against you have been sent out of Paris and separated from the others. My brothers, it is imperative that we get out of this tight spot. We have to combat the movement of the stock market. Is that not so, my brother Deputy Governor? We will support the currency. The right-wing press should stop attacking the left-wing press to achieve a balance, to throw them off the scent. Understood. The left-wing parties should come to an agreement with those in the center and those to the extreme left. In a way, we can control the people, the common man. Even better, the Front Populaire. As for you, dear Galette, I received a message from abroad this morning for you. They are asking that you send the aviation supplies to Spain immediately. In return, we'll have all the political pressure we need. Even our prototypes, especially our prototypes. Don't you think that would be dangerous for our national defense? Do as I say. Inquiry concludes government responsible for 6th February riots. No enemies on the left. Aircraft for Spain. Mr. Avenel, send him in. Oh, hello, old friend. How are you? Very well, thank you. I called you. What happened? We never see you anymore. Are you sulking? No. Tell me, why did you refuse to take part in the inquest? I'm very busy at the moment, and I'm already involved in other commissions. Avenel, answer me honestly. Isn't it because we had a confidential chat the other day? Oh, well, yes it is. I wanted to talk to you about Freemasonry. Of course, sit down. I'm listening. Well, you were the one who presented me. I owe you an explanation. I have decided to resign. You seem to be disappointed by Masonry. Worse, shocked. Why? Confess to me. You wouldn't be the first Mason to confide in me. What did we do to you? Well, nothing to me personally, but I find that the Masons is rotten with social climbers. I agree with you. I didn't force you to say that. Do you think I'm stupid? I don't understand. So many virtues proclaimed on the outside, so many mysteries inside the order to cover up your little tricks. The hunger of its cliques. I expected to find devoted men, if not superior. Instead, I met beggars for tobacconists, or for honors, or rogues who are looking to use me to escape their prison sentences. Apart from them, sloganeers, those ignorant of everything, who don't know the history of their country, nothing of world history, nothing of politics, nothing of philosophy, nothing. Empty brains, but with petty ambitions and flapping tongues. And these people govern France? What grade are you now? Well, I was initiated as a master a short while ago. Well, if you have the courage to live amongst the mediocrity of the craft masonry for a few more years, you will move up to the superior levels. Is it any better? Completely different. Look, you're at the 33rd level, aren't you? That's the highest grade in masonry. My dear Avel, I'm going to tell you, although I shouldn't, of these famous Masonic secrets everyone finds so mysterious. In Masonry, we hide everything from the little people. At the bottom, you know nothing. At the top, you start to see the global game more clearly. Even I am not completely sure of intentions of our order's rulers. And when I say rulers, I am mistaken. There are no rulers amongst us. There are only executors. I am a pawn on a chessboard. I carry out a function. I receive messages. I obey. I pass on messages. I respond. But who is in charge? No one. It is much more complicated and simple at the same time than we think. What is Masonry? Groups of men who are united from the four corners of the earth, wrapping the world in a network of unbreakable links. There are 50,000 of us in France, 500,000 in England, 3 million in America. It's not many, but it's a huge number because we form a united front for one cause. We spread everywhere. We have control everywhere. Here, 300 parliamentarians are Masons. In England, the king is part of our order. In the USA, the president is at the 32nd level. There is not a country where we don't have our secret supporters, our men, our banks, our devoted groups, and that's nothing. I'm only telling you of the physical strength of Freemasonry. There is perhaps something else. But what? A superior doctrine. An ancient power in the world.
1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0
which allows us to push people sometimes towards life, sometimes towards death, as is necessary. Death? But I thought that Masonry stood for peace. A certain peace. Our peace. Or else. Well, this resignation, I'll think it over. There's only one solution. War. To succeed in waging war, Masonry needs all its men. Who can we not count on in the chamber? Our parliamentary brothers are almost all safe, except one who I dare to name, because he is in our lodge. Avenel. He makes remarks against the Grand Orient, who he accuses of declaring war on Europe. It was a mistake to let him enter. We could still persuade him to change his mind. I doubt you would succeed. Who knows? Perhaps we can do it. French aeronautics production. Brothers, German aviation doesn't have any hardware. There were over 2,000 aviation accidents in Germany last year. The Siegfried line is barely constructed. The German tanks are moving with difficulty. One detail, among others, was reported to me by one of our brothers. When their tanks entered Vienna, it appeared that some of them were made of cardboard and mounted on bicycle wheels. Believe me, my brothers, it will be easy for us to fight National Socialism, whose ceaseless demands are becoming intolerable, and liberate our brothers reduced to slavery. Never have we been so ready. In 2 weeks, we will settle the fate of Germany. Our law governs Europe completely. Our victory is certain. It is not true. Silence. What he is saying is not true. My brother, I bring you to order. You don't have the right to speak. I know that. I am a deputy and member of the National Defense Commission. I can't allow a speech which is so obviously wrong to continue. The statements this man makes, our brother Richter, on the state of the German army are lies. And stupid too. Why would you want a war between Germany and France? My brother, you don't have the right to speak. I don't care, but I still say that no real grounds can be found for going to war. You can speak presently after our brother's speech. No, I'll speak now, before hearing more of these stupid warmongering stupidities. All of you Masons are pushing for war, so that this country can be governed by your laws, by the Jews, and Masonry above all. The French people won't fight to defend such a vapid ideology, a vile regime, and a rotten republic. Brother Avenel, I ask you to leave the temple. You are all liars, falsifiers, and forgers. Everything here is just a black comedy. Avenel. I live in Neuilly, just like you. That's why I came to find you. You did the right thing, my friend. I was right behind you in the meeting. I wanted to congratulate you. Thank you. You did the right thing to tell them the truth. They are madmen. It is impossible to make them listen to reason. The facts are indisputable. Yes. Listen, I have some confidential documents about the current activities in the Masons, which may interest you. Documents? Yes. You are a deputy? It will be useful and urgent that you reveal them. Of course, but where are they? At my place, not far from here. If you have a few minutes, of course, let's go. So what have we decided? A gun or a knife? A knife. It will be less noisy. Look out. Here they are. Just a moment. I'll open up. A matter of morals or drugs. The young Deputy Avenel, who has shown signs of mental illness, was found unconscious in the suburbs. According to his acquaintances, he was in the habit of visiting such seedy areas. Don't worry, my love. You will recover quickly. The doctor just told me you are out of danger. As long as you are careful. What was that noise? It's general mobilization, my love. What do you mean, mobilization? Don't get excited, my love. I shouldn't have told you. Don't fret, my love. You'll be back soon. They have done it. They have succeeded in starting their war. Don't move. Your wounds have barely healed. If I hadn't fallen under the sway of these criminals, perhaps I could have prevented this. No, you could have done nothing to avoid it, my dear. These men are stronger than you. You are well rid of them. What's that? Those poor people. If they knew what I knew. Brothers, we can confirm without doubt that universal Freemasonry has achieved its goal. This war of ours has been declared. It will end with the triumph of our order. It means that the world will be governed by our methods and our ideas. Be standing for the order. Brother Senior Warden, what time does business close? At midnight, Worshipful Master. What time is it, Brother Junior Warden? Midnight, Worshipful Master. As it is midnight, and we have completed our work, I declare business closed. When I bang my hammer, leave in peace, my brothers, under the law of silence.
Let's see. It's almost over. It is over. Yeah, so the thing about this is, this is a very old style of Freemasonry. See, it's important to understand that modern Freemasons don't necessarily believe the mythology as much as these guys did. Back in the day, probably the 30s or the 40s, prior to that time, and if you go back and you read all of the old Masonic books, which I have, I've got a library copy of them. I'll have to post a link to them, or they're in my bio.link/officialurban. Yeah, they believed all the mythology. What they believed was that they were the last inheritors of the secret lost word of Solomon's Temple. And so what happened was this Rothschild, Kabbalist Jewish line came in and convinced them that their secret, their mythology, their branding was the correct only one. Now, the thing is, what they did was they swapped King Solomon out with Nimrod. And so that's where the great switch in Masonry happened. They switched the Solomonic myth and kept the names all the same, but they swapped it out for Nimrodian myth. The fallen, the Nephilim worship and the stuff like that. So it was a very subtle switch, but this was a mythology that's always been strong with, the early Masons at this time, but it's been lost with the new Masons. So they don't understand this. Most of them don't read the books. And if they do, they're definitely not reading the old, pre-1900 books, unless they're really nerdy about it. Joshua Abraham, who is the son of Larry Abraham, who wrote None Dare Call It a Conspiracy, he managed to infiltrate 33rd Degree Masonry. He said he'd do an interview with me sometime. That would be fun. I'll see if I can get that in the works. Basically, they have been taken over by this. They think Jesus is an alien. They think that it's all, it's going to be this alien Jesus, Project Blue Beam. But that's what they think at the highest levels of Freemasonry. It's that they believe this mythology. See, it's this idea of Blue Beam is interesting. It's not necessarily a conspiracy theory. For us, it's a conspiracy theory, fake knockoff mythology that they're presenting through fronts like LDS, Jehovah's Witnesses, all of this, the same New Age alien. Catholic Church says it's going to baptize aliens, stuff like that. So it's a mess. I mean, the Freemasonry is a mess, but it works fundamentally on back scratches. And that was a very good way of summing it up. So, guys, I'm going to leave you with that. We're sitting at the 2-hour mark. I'm pretty tired. I'm going to go to bed. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Let's see what happens tomorrow with all this shit with Israel and Iran. That's going to be a mess. What's that song? Give Me Shelter. Just a shot away. War's just a shot away. Possibly. I don't know. They're just old drinking buddies. It's the way that it seems. These guys are... Masonry's an old school thing now. I mean, now it's associated with old men. I mean, not even young men, but old men. So, that, they're recruiting different ways now. That's a topic for another time, but they're recruiting online now. They're recruiting mental patients. They find people who are leaning into the schizo rabbit holes and they groom them. And the strong rise to the top. And it's the same thing. It's just a circle of friends. It's a circle of friends. That's what the whole thing is. It's a friend network. And at the end of the day, you scratch your friends' backs. And that's what it's about. You guys get together. You guys drink. You guys are your buddies. So, you definitely you're going to help me out. You're going to help him out. You're going to help me out. Because I've helped you out. That's how this whole thing works. And so, who knows? But it's true. They own all sides of the war. Look at Iran. They've got a big pyramid, 33 windows going up and down. In Iran, their parliament building is a Freemasonic building. Israel's Supreme Court's that Rothschild design with all of it. It's all Freemasonic. It's all right in the face. It's our face. So, yeah, I mean, they told you. They got to tell you. So, but I aim to figure out how it works. I want to know how the meta thinking is. It's this idea of meta thinking. It's you got to zoom out and you got to make your concepts much more meta. So how do these Freemasons think? What is the mechanism that they interact with each other? And that's hard because you don't get to watch them interact. It's like if you're going to understand how animals interact, you're going to go and study them by watching them, but it's hard to do that with Freemasons. But, I've read a lot of their books, summarized a lot of their books. I might pull out some of those and do a deep dive on those. That'd be pretty interesting. Some of their books are a lot of manuals. Bill Cooper always referenced one on Masonic law because they have their own law system. And see, that's very interesting to note. Bill Cooper mentioned that if you have an issue, they have their own internal legal structure. So you can only go against a Mason, and your oath binds you to that. Their constitution is their oath. So they have their own law, and you have to handle matters in house. It's like the Amish. It's like all of these cult-like groups. So you can't, if you have an issue with the Mason, you have to handle it with the lodge. Then they have their own legal jurisprudence and stuff like that. So it's pretty crazy. But yeah, guys, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting ready to close the stream down and go to bed. I wish you all the best. Let's all say a prayer for everyone in the Middle East on both sides, because war sucks for everybody. The only people that benefit from war are men in suits. And so a lot of innocent people are and are still yet going to die, and that's unfortunate. So we all say a prayer for them. Yeah, I know, I agree. That's something most people don't understand. They don't realize the that understanding what you just said, Boots. And so yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are issues on both sides, but a lot of innocent people who didn't need to die have died because of primarily, I'm not exempting the Muslim population, because they're blowing people up. A lot of innocent people have died on both sides, but this whole ramping up, this whole holy crusade with Israel is very simple. I think they don't want the peace in the Middle East. They don't want peace in the Middle East. They are going to their 1666 Frankist, Sabbatean Frankist movement, the ones that scapegoat the real Jews. So this would be the synagogue of Satan. I mean, this is written about in the Bible. So these people are they're trying to force Jesus's hand. They're going to destroy the world, and hopefully Messiah comes back. And they don't believe Jesus is the Messiah. So for them, they think they're waiting on the Messiah. But what they're going to do is they think that they're going to force their Savior, Jesus, to return. And so these people are crazy. I mean, I know it don't make any sense, but these people believe it. It doesn't matter what we believe. It matters what these people believe. They got a lot of time on their hands, and they're real deep into this stuff. They're very schizophrenic. This whole thing is schizophrenic. None of their plans make sense when you put them together. When you put all their plans together, they don't make sense in combination. That's the funny thing. But their ultimate plan is redemption through sin. And that's a good book. I have that on my website. You can read about that, by Robert Suffer, the same guy that was narrating this documentary. Redemption through sin. That's what the Sabbatean Frankists believe. They believe that the Messiah will come back if they just sin and they just keep going and bend it until it breaks. That's the Kabbalism. That's what Kabbalah is about. You take your normal human things and you break them by pushing them to their limit. You have to be willing to break your senses to break out of reality. And so they apply that to everything. Burn the world down, and hopefully the Savior comes to save it all. If he's really there, that's their belief. So it's a big play on ultimatum. If you're going to show up, we're going to burn and kill the whole world. Well, guys, it's been my pleasure. I believe I'll be back tomorrow with you. I think James will be back Saturday. I think that's what he said. So we'll have a movie night tomorrow night. All right, guys. Have a good night. Take care.